Hi there, photo enthusiasts. I am Sathya. Today we deep dive into interesting yet tricky world of choosing our first camera. There are a lot of variables involved in it: camera type, brand, models, overwhelmingly large number of options. Let's go through each one of them and pick systematically the best camera for us. First things first, camera type. They range from simple point and shoot to advanced DSLR. Best camera is the one that we carry with us always. Point and shoot ticks that mark, but it has certain other limitations. Most of the model doesn't have manual exposure settings, hence it would limit our creativity. Hence, I won't recommend it as your first camera. Very soon we would be it with the limitations of the camera. Instead, if you want, you can start with mobile camera. Nowadays, they are perform very well. Next in the list is DSLR. It stands for digital single lens reflex. There is a mirror between the lens and the sensor which flips up when an exposure is taken. They are technologically replaced by mirrorless camera. As the term says, the flipping mirror doesn't present in a mirrorless camera. They are they provide all the functionalities provided by a DSLR. In addition to that, you don't have that moving flipping mirror. Hence, DSLR is also out of the list. So let's pick mirrorless as our camera type. It doesn't mean DSLRs are anyway inferior than mirrorless. They are as capable as that of mirrorless. But if you're buying today, I won't recommend buying a new DSLR as there is a technologically advanced one replacing it. But if your friend is upgrading their DSLR, then probably you can pick it up and then start from a used camera. Later, once you got familiar, then you can upgrade your camera to mirrorless. Next variable to address is camera brand. I listed three major brands: Canon, Nikon, and Sony. Generally, camera brand is a personal choice. All these brands are equal. They manufacture equivalent competing models, so it's actually a personal choice. But is there a way to objectively select a brand? Luckily, yes. Lens mount. Okay, lens mount is the connector that connects the camera body and the lens. This connector type, this lens mount type varies from brand to brand and sometimes within a brand also multiple types. Let's pick Canon for example. It has three type of body: DSLR, mirrorless generation 1 and mirrorless generation 2. And there are five different types of mounts. The specific type of mount works with a specific type of the camera body. You can see that in the screen. So if you are buying a camera, your next upgrade should be within this subcategory so that you can reuse your lens. Otherwise, your lens cannot be reused because you will be investing a lot more money in the lens over a period of time than the camera body. So for this reason, I won't recommend Canon, even though there can be argument like certain body type and mount types are prevalent. Still, I won't recommend Canon as your first camera. I won't recommend Nikon for the same reason. Luckily, Sony have only one lens mount type. It's called Sony E mount. All the camera manufactured till now have this mount type, and any lens that you buy for a model of Sony camera should be reusable in the other body. Okay, so it's very convenient. Today you can buy a certain type as a beginner. Later, if you are switching your camera, still your lenses could be reused. That's a great advantage. So let's go with Sony. There is a caveat. Even though lens mount type is same, APS-C lenses and full frame lenses can be reused technically, but the full frame body have to work in an reduced APS-C mode. Okay, this brings us to the question of next variable. So which sensor size I should buy, APS-C or full frame? Full frame are 35 mm film equivalent. They are generally expensive. Not only the camera, all their lenses and all accessories are expensive. So I won't recommend that as a first camera. Instead, let's go with APS-C. Now we have to pick a best model within the Sony APS-C ecosystem. There are 7 options available for us. Sony Alpha 6000, 6300 and 6500 are released in the year 2014 to 16. The next generation equivalent replace them. So straight away we can strike out this three options. Alpha 6700 is the latest and greatest model. It has extraordinary features like 14-bit raw image shooting and 10-bit 4K shooting at 120 frames per second. That's the excellent one can expect, but it's also expensive. It's yet to be in Indian market and it's expected to be priced around 1,40,000. So because of this expensive price tag, I won't recommend them. 6100 is almost equivalent to 6400, but it lacks the picture profile feature, which might be helpful for video shooting. Hence, I won't recommend that 6100 also. The next option is 6400 and 6600. Let's look at the difference between them. 6600 have a larger battery, hence a larger recording time. It also have something called IBIS, in-body image stabilization. It's the feature where like camera tries to compensate for the hand shake. Let's say we take a photo handheld, we will have minor movements in our hand which the camera senses and then tries to compensate for it. It's a very good feature that is expected from a camera. Otherwise, we might end up having blurred images. 6400 don't have this IBIS, but there is a price difference between 6400 and 6600. Let's see, can we get these two features in 6400 for this reduced price? Of course, yes. We can have a spare battery with which one can be used, one can be charged, so that like battery problem is addressed. The IBIS problem, it don't have an IBIS, but like most of the lenses have something called OSS, optical steady shot, which tries to compensate for the camera movement, but the compensation functionality is available in the lens. Hence, we are getting those functionality also in 6400. So I would recommend Sony Alpha 6400 as our first camera. It comes in three packages: body only, 16 to 50 mm kit lens, and the other option is 18 to 135 mm lens. Body only option is striked out. Without a lens, we cannot take images, and this is our first camera, so we need lens. So I would recommend going with 16 to 50 mm lens. Once you are familiar with the camera and want to explore 50 plus range, then you can go ahead and buy either Sony or a third party lens. Hope you like this video and it is helpful in choosing your first camera. Please let me know your thoughts and feedbacks in the comments, and also if you would have chosen a different path in the tree. See you in the next video. Until then, bye.